So top stitching is our last stage 4 for our revere collar. You can choose to do any style of top stitching you would like. Generally on jackets it's usually a foot's width or a centimetre depending on how chunky the leather is. I'm going to do a foot's width top stitch around here, around that curve. It's going to be tricky to get a foot's width top stitch around that curve and then back down into this seam here. What you'll notice when I come into this seam here, I'm actually going to come around the corner, down the top collar edge. I'm going to stop and then I'm going to come in and blunt off that corner here, straight through that corner, come down to here and then keep going. The reason being, if you go around here and come straight down and then to there and then come around and keep going your top stitching here, you can do that, there's nothing wrong with it, but what it does do is it creates a point down here when your seam is up here. And what you'll notice if you actually do that is that it looks a little bit odd. It looks like you've overrun the corner. It doesn't quite look right when you're stitching it. So that's why on a lot of leather jackets what you'll notice is when they stitch, they'll either stitch, come into a right angle, come out to a right angle and keep going, or they'll stitch, blunt right off that corner and then keep stitching, okay? When you're doing this sample, the trickiest part's going to be to maintain a slight corner as you're top stitching around here, and this one here should be an absolute pointed square corner because there's two opposing types of corners. So we're going to do a foot's width, turn him on. There we go. Like I said, the trickiest part is getting around this curve because you don't want it to actually look like it's an absolute square. You want it to look like it's a bit of a corner. Come back out of it. And I'll walk into this one. I'm going to use a nice blunt corner on him. Far enough. Just check him. Yep, he is. This one here is a point. Okay, so like I've done, I've just blunted off the corner. If you want to, you can go down and continue like into a point. There's nothing wrong with that. But the most, like I've done the most, probably an uncommon corner, but the most common one would be coming along to that and then doing a right angle corner, do a right angle and come back into that point and then come out at a right angle and then continue. Have a look at some of the jackets that you can see around if you've got one at home, to have a look to see how it's actually stitched, to look at the different variations on that corner, okay?